All right, guys, it's that time again. The CBCS Hot List. I got my fellow NY Warriors with me. Let's cue that intro. I'm telling you, man, that beat gets me pumped all the time. Right? So, guys, welcome to Home of the NY Warriors, guys, where we bring to you the CBCS Hot List by my man Eric Norton. But before we get started, guys, if you're new to this channel, if you have not subscribed, please do so, and please hit that like button. It helps this video get out to other people, so other people can enjoy it as well. All right, so before we get started, before we get to my man Eric's list, we're gonna go down the line. You notice I have a couple of new faces on the CBCS Hot List, not for the NY Warriors though. These guys have been with me from the beginning for years already. So I'm gonna go down the line and start with my man Eze the Game Hunter in the house. What's up, Eli?
What's going on YouTube? First Hot 10, or well, not Hot 10 list, CBSI,
No, CBCS, not CBSI.
CBCS, god damn it. Oh.
It's all right. We got confused at the beginning too.
Yeah, first CBCS, CBSI, CBS, everything, top 5 list, hot new books that are getting graded over there that are coming in, hot submissions. So yeah. It wouldn't be an NY Warriors video if we didn't mess up, So
that's true. That's true. I always say that we're not late or we don't mess up. You already know how it is. But that just goes to show you that we're real people, just like you guys watching. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right. And next we got a man that's been with me from the beginning since we started this whole NY Warriors things. We got my man Marky 316 in the house. What's up, Marky?
Oh, what's up, everybody? Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for this list, and I shouted out to you. I said you better have me on for this one.
What's funny is that as soon as I read Eric's list, right away I thought in my head, I said I got to get Marky on this one. Yeah. And before I even looked at our private chat,
I'm going to be on the thing tonight, right? You're going to put me on.
Yeah, you already wrote. I already knew. Trust me, man. As soon as I read the list, I already knew that you was going to be on.
Oh yeah. I'm ready for this. So yeah. CBCS Hot List. Here we go.
Yeah. All right, guys. So real quick, guys, if you guys want to follow along with the list as we read, the link to the list is going to be, to his article, to the full article is going to be in the description below, guys. And stay tuned to the end because CBCS is giving a little discount, and we'll show you what it is at the end before we get to the last book. So real quick, guys, this week is a little different with the CBCS Hot List. Usually Eric was just putting the books up random, not really based on any particular order. But he says that this week, however, he's going to be moving the list to in orders from 1 through 5 based on sales, so you can read what he wrote about that in the article below, guys. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to start with the first book. So we're going to hit you with this one, bam, right here. And it's great to see a DC book here. We got Green Lantern 59 from 1968. And this is the first appearance of Guy Gardner. So I'm just going to read you a little bit of what he wrote on the article, letting you know why this book hit the #1 spot on the list this week. And he's like, this DC classic was written by John Broome and Gil Kane, who worked on Flash and Green Lantern to help him bring back the superhero from the 60s. When in the 60s it was mostly Western and mystery genres. Green Lantern 59 gives readers the first appearance of Guy Gardner, who served as Hal Jordan's backup. The recent spike in this book is due to Finn Wittrock being cast as a Guy Gardner in the upcoming Green Lantern HBO Max series. Dope ass book. I've been trying to get this for a minute, but obviously hit the list, so I may be paying a premium now. But you know what? I got the expert with my Green Lantern. I got my own Green Lantern expert in the house. I'm gonna start with my man Marky. Marky, what do you got to say about this book?
Oh well, I'm happy for the Green Lantern show. If you all don't know me, I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. And I kind of figured this was this should have been on the list earlier when they announced the show, because they already said which characters they're going to be focusing on from the Green Lantern Corps. So definitely when they casted Guy Gardner, first thing I thought, 59 is going to go up, and that is his first ever appearance in comics. Yeah. But there's another issue that's on there.
We'll get to that one later.
We'll get to that. Yeah. But this, to me, this is great. As a Green Lantern fan, I'm happy for this. Guy Gardner deserves recognition because he is one of the top 4 Green Lanterns in my view. You got Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Guy Gardner, and Kyle Rayner. And then you can throw in Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, and all of them. But it was always the four. And they and this is a great, and this came before Jon Stewart. So he was always a relevant character, and he's been relevant, continuing now in the books and all that, including the video games and all that. Well, no, he wasn't in the video games. He was in the comic books. He was in the Injustice comic books, and he's been in all the major storylines that you can think of. The death of Superman, when Hal Jordan lost his mind and whatever became Parallax, he was a main thing with that. And he's always been around, and he's one of the Green Lanterns that you want on your team, because he'll be the first one to step over that line before anybody else goes and said, I got this before you guys. And he'll take a beating for him. And that's why I always like him. He's got an ego. He's a little nutty here and there, but man, he's got some
he's going to
will.
bring definitely some badass to the character. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's going to give you that element to the show. That probably, having him in the show, I'm excited for it, because he's like the attitude that I don't give a F.
He's way overdue. He's way overdue. Like I've told you many a times, that if they were going to do this Green Lantern thing, it had to be a show. They cannot explain this in a 2-hour film. That's probably why the film didn't work. They tried to put a little bit too much into that, as usual. You got to flesh out these characters. There's so much history with the characters and with the Green Lanterns and with the rings and with the Guardians and the battery power and all that.
It's gonna be a big series. It's gonna be a big series. Hopefully they do it right, and everyone's pleased with it. So far so good with the HBO Max stuff. So let's see. Eli, what do you think about this book, man? What are your thoughts on it, real quick?
Marky said it all. I mean, he's the Green Lantern freaking, expert. You need to know anything about Green Lantern, he knows it. I mean, great to see a character who really, for a while, he hasn't really been getting his just due in like the media and stuff like that, at least as of late. So it's cool to finally see, he's going to be showing up in some way, shape, or form in, a live action sense. And I really hope they do the character right. That's one of the things I really hope they do. Guy Gardner, like you said, he was, he's the hothead Green Lantern. He's the guy he'll step up before anybody else will. He'll
look at him, Batman's face. He's gotten in Batman's face many of times.
I've heard a lot
he's
of
always
like
when I used to read the Justice League books, he's always freaking fighting with somebody, So he's definitely like, he's that guy. So.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna move it along now to the second book on his list, which is a dope book, and we've seen this book plenty of times throughout the last year, especially with WandaVision and everything. So we have here Mighty Avengers #1 from November 2013, and this is when Monica Rambeau becomes Spectrum. But there's a little more to the book than just her becoming Spectrum. So I'm gonna give you a little read from Eric's from his article. So it says here with chiming in number 2 spot, we got the Mighty Avengers #1 with nearly a 1,300% sales increase. This book gives the collectors alike plenty to speculate about. Most of that speculation is driven by Monica Rambeau, who becomes Spectrum, right? But however, you cannot discount that this is the first time the Mighty Avengers team was led by Luke Cage. So to me that's big. Also, Luke Cage leading the team. Dope ass book. There's a variant for it also. I'm not sure what the number ratio is or anything like that, but Eli, what's up with this book? What do you think about this one here?
This is a great book for anybody who's a fan of Luke Cage. These characters, a lot of underrated, really, like, I guess you could say like the BC level Avengers that kind of like had prominence more back in the day. They kind of take the precedent in this book. Because She-Hulk is a part of this team as well, and a few other people. It's cool. You get to see the White Tiger as well in this team. This is also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time you see the Blue Marvel part of the Mighty Avengers. Now, I don't think he joins the team in the first issue, but he does show up in the first issue. So this is like his reintroduction kind of into the universe, because I remember this was like the first time I remember seeing and hearing about the Blue Marvel. So this was a great book, definitely. A great read. Definitely worth the pick up the first time. Monica, she takes on the name Spectrum and everything. And it's all around. So it was a great run. This is probably Greg Land's like his best work, like in terms of like artwork on like a solo title in like a long
Yeah.
time at this point. So
Yeah, because everybody's also speculating what is she going to be in the movie The Marvels, because that's the second Captain Marvel movie. They officially dubbed
right,
it The Marvels,
because they
and
kind of
the
hinted on it.
speculation. Yeah,
They
what is she
they
going to be? Is she going to be the new version of Captain Marvel? Is she going to be Spectrum, or she's going to be Photon? So
right.
but the more for sure spec is everyone's thinking it's going to be Spectrum. So this will be the book to get if she becomes
Definitely.
that. Marky, what do you think about this book, man? Any thoughts on it?
Well, just like what Eli said to me about the Green Lantern, he said it all.
Yeah, definitely. I got
you
this.
know,
Hard to follow that.
It's hard to follow, and contradict anything he says because he's on par with the Marvel characters. I mean, he's in detail, like he just said before, to the point, and it all has to do with her in the movies, WandaVision, and all this other stuff, and of course the new movie about to come out. So of course, any little spec, anything with a first appearance or a name change or something with these characters that they're going to show up and they're showing some type of power or something like that. Yeah, look out. It's just like we said, first appearance, first anythings with major characters or characters just get it. If you see it, grab it.
It's a part of the Blue Marvel spec as well. I mean, this is the first time he's a part of the Avengers, pretty much, so you want to
make no mistake, Blue Marvel is coming to the MCU, this
everybody is waiting for that one.
Yeah, just hold on to them people, don't sell too early.
That's a hold.
All right, so let's move on to the third book in the list, and this, like I said, we got the expert for the Green Lanterns here with us. Lucky for that. We're gonna have number 3 here. Green Lantern 116 from May of 1979, and this book, it 800% sales increase this week. You know what I mean? But there's got to be a reason why. So, Mark, I'm gonna start with you, man. Why do you think there's been 800% sales on this book right here?
Well, because this book right here, even though 59 was his first appearance, it was technically, the story was like a what if. What if Hal Jordan wasn't selected as Green Lantern? Was there someone else? And the Guardians kind of showed Hal Jordan, hey, this is what would have happened if you weren't selected. So it was like it didn't happen. They were just showing it what it could happen. That book right there, 116, is in canon with the DCEU that he actually becomes a Green Lantern in that book. So because there's a lot of things going on. Yeah.
I looked up at the labels. The labels don't mention that, like from CBCS or the other company. They don't mention that on there. But I guess the people know. So that's why this book has been selling.
Yeah, because they look at that, because how Guy Gardner is now in the books is because of 116 and going forward with his character and everything. That's his technically real introduction into the DC universe,
like the DC canon, basically.
DC canon, right? Because that was like an Elseworld tale. Even on 59, the first page is a picture of Hal Jordan in his suit. Hey, I'm going to tell you a tale about this other guy that was Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So, and there you go, and then they bring him in.
Eli, any thoughts on this one before we move to the next one?
I had no idea about this book. I mean, Marky again with the freaking expertise over here on the Green Lantern. Like me, I don't know much about Green Lantern. I've read some Green Lantern, so I really don't know like all the key appearances, because I'm pretty sure there's tons more Green Lantern key appearances and stuff like that where that came from. But definitely, I know this is a book that definitely flied under the radar, because I have seen it before. You probably see it amongst all the other little Green Lantern, Green Arrow books, and like you said, it's not labeled anywhere on any of the other slabs or anywhere really we find it. So
that's right. Yeah, most stores don't really know about it neither. You go through a bin and it'll probably be sitting there. So just I would say before anyone pays any eBay prices, check your LCS, check those back issues. And now that we got the shows started, look, well, maybe not to today, but it's out there on the list now. But hey, you never know. Yeah. The show hasn't aired yet. There hasn't been no trailers or anything like that, so it's still time. I think it's still early enough to get to a copy at a decent price. Yeah.
Because you got to think, everybody saw, his first appearance is 59. Yeah, that's his first in comics. That's his first appearance in continuity.
It's kind of like a Scar or a Spider-Girl situation where they appeared in What If before they showed up in like actual.
He gets to replace Hal Jordan. He finally gets that opportunity that he was that they kind of foreshadowed in 59.
Yeah. So so we're gonna move it along to the 4th book on the list, which is a dope book. I'm glad this is on there because I enjoyed the series. We have here Invincible number 16 from August of 2004, and it's the first appearance of Angstrom Levy, right? If I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah.
So basically, there was a 700% increase in sales this week as as the season ended, and Amazon announced that they're in for season 2 and season 3. So this series is going to have a lot of life to it, guys. You know what I mean? Usually, sometimes what happens to independent books, they die down, but this one seems like it's going to keep flourishing, and the cartoon is doing great. You know what I mean? If you guys have not watched it on Amazon, I highly recommend it. Just don't watch with any minors because this is very graphic.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm happy to see this book here on the list today. So Eli, I'm gonna start with you on this one. Any thoughts on Invincible number 16?
Man, Invincible, like we come a long way. I'll tell you that with Invincible. A lot of these books flew under the radar. I didn't read all Invincible. I jumped on Invincible really, really late. So a great first appearance. I'm not too familiar with the character, how significant this character is in the lore and everything, but I mean, you definitely want to pick up just any Invincibles you see, whatever numbers you get, whatever issues is out there. There's tons of stuff out there for Invincibles, so definitely a pickup if you're a fan of the show or if you're just a fan of Invincible. And yeah, definitely pick it up.
Yeah, and Marky, any thoughts on the series or this book Invincible number 16?
I enjoyed the series, and of course when everybody heard season 2 and 3 were getting picked up, all I can think of is a YouTuber named Merc with a Mouth. He has been yelling since day one we met him many years ago about Invincible and how good this series is.
Yeah, that was back in 2015. Yeah,
a long time. So will it be Walking Dead numbers in these books? I don't know.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, Marky.
Oh, sorry. Now, better?
Yeah, don't worry, guys. We'll get back to Marky. He froze up a little bit.
Yeah,
there we
sorry
go.
about that.
It's all right. There you go. You're back. Yeah, you're back.
Sorry about that.
Guys. Little technical difficulties.
I know.
Basically,
that was weird.
This series, our friend Merc with a Mouth back in the day, he put us onto this years ago, back in 2015, and he's right. The series is dope, and it's I'm sad that I didn't read it sooner, until now. It took all the way until a TV show, but that's what happens.
He gave us a little taste of every. He gave us a little taste of every issue that was coming out during that time, and he explained some of the scenarios and the storylines, and we were all like, "Wow, that sounds badass!" But of course, only people that read books were picking it up because they enjoyed the story. Now we got a show, did very good. It's gotten season 2 and 3 coming, so all these other early books, they're going to be going off on them. So everybody's trying to get them now. So little late to the ride, but not too late. The 2-minute warning has sound. So I suggest if you're going to try to find some of these books, you better get them now.
Yeah, definitely. And we made it to the last book of the list, of Eric's list. But real quick, guys, before we go to the last book, I just want to throw it out there. The CBCS has a May special going on right now. I heard they do have another special, but this is the one I'm promoting right now. Best value, you get 5% off, guys. Use that promo code on their submissions, and you get 5% off their submissions through the month of May, and that includes all tiers, like the Silver Age ones and modern books. So make sure to check them out. Link is in the description below. And we're going to hit you with the last book right here, which is Lady Killer number 1 from January 2015. And this book has a 700% increase in sales due to Netflix speculation, guys. So, we hear there's a show coming from Netflix on it, and you already see what happens to shows that appear on Netflix. They spike, but are they going to be good? You understand? That could still hold a way in this, you know what I mean? Because some people I saw wasn't too happy with Jupiter's Legacy. I liked it. The book spiked up because of it, but is it going to hold the value? The same thing with Lady Killer. I didn't read Lady Killer. I remember when this came out, when we first started the whole YouTube thing, and I kind of missed out on it. You know what I mean? But Eli, what do you think about Lady Killer? Number one.
I remember there was a lot of like, even at the time, there was a lot of rumblings about this book, like, oh, they might do a show about this or whatever, So there was always that spec behind it, but it's been so long since then, this kind of died off a little bit, So this book was a hot book at the time, but now forget about it. Like I've seen sales of this book like going crazy, like $50-$40. I know there's some other printings as well. I think of the first issue.
Yeah, there are some other printings on it. It's a Dark Horse book.
Yeah, I never read it. I feel bad that I haven't read it because now see what that book is at right now. It's crazy, but it's definitely a good book. Some Joelle Jones early artwork as well. Before like a lot of her mainstream stuff. So I mean, really great pickup. I mean, if you're trying to, get ahead of the spec, I mean, there's a way to do it.
Yeah, this goes to show you the one thing that we said on last week's show. During the Indie Spotlight and the NY Warriors show and Mike East West show, do not get rid of your indie books. Indie books is, that's where they're gonna go because Marvel and DC are tied down already, but indie is not. You know what I mean? You got Boom Studios, you got some the old Dark Horse stuff. Image is killing it right now, so just keep your indie books, man, because you don't know what's gonna hit. Marky, real quick, what do you got to say? You got anything to say about this book?
Just about everybody else. I did not pick up this book when it came out, but just with all the rumblings and everything like that, and yeah, when you hear the word Netflix, all of a sudden, any book that they announce that they're going to be relating off to for a show on Netflix, which is watched by a lot of people, let's get it right, and it's going to have a spike, and because you don't know if it's going to be a hit or a miss. Now, like what Eze said with Jupiter's Legacy, some people liked it, some people don't. We'll see what happens where that goes. But we know Lock and Key everybody likes. Yeah. We know Umbrella Academy everybody likes. So there you go. So these other properties are getting swooped up by Netflix, Amazon, and all that other stuff, Hulu or whatever. They're all going to get these other properties because, like what Eze said, Marvel and DC are already tied down to their companies. So all they have to do is just announce it. But these, you don't know, especially independents. Please make Lady Death and Evil Ernie. Please, someone out there. I got all your books out there. Please, somebody.
Help them get the rights back.
Yeah, some other people are tied down too. Like Boom Studios is tied to Netflix already. And the same thing with the MLR World stuff, you know what I mean? So they're getting snatched up too, like the independents.
Well, they signed a whole thing with Mark Millar. So you're going to have some other shows by him and everything. So that's a signed done deal right there and there.
Yeah, guys. So that's it, guys. That's the end of the list, guys. Remember, if you guys have not seen the article yet, the article is listed below in the description. And all my guys right here, they have their own channels, Eze the Game Hunter and Market 316. Their links are also going to be in the description below. Of course, and my brothers that were not here this week, but will probably be back here next week. My man Joker from East Meets West and Thoro from Keep It Thoro Comics. Their links are going to be in the description below also, guys. So make sure that you guys have not subbed up to them, sub it up because we collaborate all the time. And that's it for this one, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Later.